Last Tuesday, a 72-year-old retired schoolteacher drove out of a dealership in an SUV that cost $76,000 4 years ago. She paid $33,000 for it. The salesman practically shook her hand twice because that thing had been sitting on his lot for 84 days, and nobody under 60 would even test drive it. Here's what kills me after 22 years in this business: the exact features that make younger buyers walk right past these SUVs. The soft ride, the big buttons, the quiet cabins, the outdated styling are precisely what make them perfect for retirees. Today, I'm counting down 3 ultra-luxury SUVs the market has abandoned, and why seniors should be buying every single one of them in 2026. I'm going deepest on number 1, because that one comes with a warranty story that made me rethink what I recommend to every retired customer who walks into my shop. Let's get into it. Number 3, Lincoln Nautilus. Number 3 is the SUV I call the recliner on wheels, and I mean that as the highest compliment I can give a vehicle. The 2021 to 2023 Lincoln Nautilus is what happens when a company designs a luxury SUV for actual comfort instead of Nürburgring lap times, and the used market is punishing it for exactly that. Let me tell you about a customer of mine, a retired airline pilot in his late 60s. Came in about a year and a half ago asking me to look over a used BMW X5 he was considering. Beautiful truck, $41,000, 55,000 miles. I put it on the lift and I showed him the oil seepage already starting around the valve cover, and I walked him through what the next 5 years of German luxury ownership actually looks like. Gaskets, cooling system plastics, electronics, air suspension components. I told him, "You're not buying a car, you're adopting a dependent." He asked what I'd buy. I showed him a 2022 Lincoln Nautilus Reserve. $25,000, 38,000 miles. He laughed at me, said Lincoln was what his father drove. 6 weeks later, he bought one anyway, and last month he told me it's the best vehicle he's owned in 50 years of driving. Here's what the market refuses to understand about the Nautilus. A 2021 or 2022 model can be found in the low to mid-20s right now, and 2022 examples have already shed roughly a quarter of their value in just 3 years. That's a vehicle that's stickered around $45,000 to $65,000, depending on trim, now selling for less than a new Honda CR-V hybrid. And unlike the German competition it was priced against, the reliability record is genuinely strong. J.D. Power scored the 2022 Nautilus an 84 out of 100 overall, with an 88 for quality and reliability, and the 2023 model peaked even higher at 87. Those are numbers that embarrass SUVs costing twice as much. Mechanically, here's why I trust it. The base 2.0-liter Turbo 4 paired with the 8-speed automatic is a proven, conventional combination. No dry dual-clutch transmission, no 48-volt hybrid complexity, no air suspension waiting to leak at 90,000 miles. Just steel springs, adaptive dampers on higher trims, and a drivetrain Ford has been refining for over a decade. If you want more power, the 2.7-liter twin-turbo V6 is available, but honestly, for a senior buyer, the 2.0T is the smart money. It's simpler, cheaper to maintain, and still has plenty of pull for merging onto the highway. Now, why is this specifically a senior's SUV? 3 reasons. First, the seats. Lincoln offers up to 22-way power adjustment with massage on upper trims. If you have a bad back, a bad hip, or you're just tired of climbing out of vehicles feeling like you slept on a park bench, these are among the best seats installed in any vehicle at any price. Second, the step-in height. The Nautilus sits at that golden height where you slide in and slide out. No climbing up like a full-size truck, no falling down into it like a sedan. For anyone with knee or hip replacements, that matters more than any horsepower figure ever printed. Third, the cabin controls. Real knobs for volume and temperature. Buttons you can feel without looking. The 13.2-inch screen in the 2021 and newer models is big, bright, and legible. Not a touchscreen scavenger hunt like some rivals. Inspection checklist, if you're shopping for one. First, on 2021 models specifically, verify all recall work is done. That year marked the tail end of the old generation and had a couple of early hiccups Lincoln addressed. Pull the VIN and check. Second, test every seat motor and massage function. They're reliable, but a dead module is a few $100s, so use it as negotiation ammo. Third, check the panoramic roof drains. Clogged drains are the #1 cause of water intrusion on these, and it's a 20-minute fix if caught early. Fourth, favor the 2022 and 2023 model years. That's the sweet spot where the bugs were gone and the reliability scores peaked. One warning, skip the redesigned 2024 and newer Nautilus for now. Gorgeous truck, huge 48-inch screen, but the first production run scored just 69 out of 100 for predicted quality and reliability. Let someone else beta test it. The 2022 and 2023 are the ones to own. But if the Nautilus is a recliner, this next one is an entire living room, and it's powered by one of the last truly great V8 engines ever put in a luxury SUV. By the way, guys, before we continue, if you're planning to buy a used car anytime soon, our 5-guide library could save you a lot of money and frustration. The link is waiting for you in the description. Number 2, Infiniti QX80. Number 2 is the best-kept secret in the full-size luxury SUV market, and the depreciation on it is so violent it should be investigated as a crime. The Infiniti QX80. Here's the number that should stop you cold. A 2022 QX80 stickered between roughly $77,000 and $88,000 new. Today, that same truck has lost about 49% of its value in 3 years and resells for around $33,000 to $41,000, depending on trim and miles. I've personally seen clean luxe models with under 45,000 miles listed at $41,000 and lower mileage examples around $40,000. Meanwhile, a comparable Cadillac Escalade or Lexus LX from the same year, you're not touching those for under $65,000 to $80,000. Same class of vehicle, same mission, half the price. Why? 2 reasons, and neither one is mechanical. Reason 1, the interior tech looks dated. The design philosophy is from an earlier era, and buyers cross-shopping an Escalade's curved OLED screens walk into a QX80 and feel like they've time-traveled. Reason 2, Infiniti's brand has been wandering in the wilderness for a decade, and nobody wants to explain their badge at the golf club. But here's what those buyers are walking away from, and why every mechanic I know grins when one rolls into the shop. Under that hood is the 5.6-liter VK56 V8, making 400 horsepower. Naturally aspirated, no turbos to fail. Timing chains, not belts. This engine family has been hauling Nissan Patrols and Armadas across deserts and tundra around the world for years, and it is one of the most overbuilt V8s of the modern era. Paired with a conventional 7-speed automatic, no CVT, no 10-speed complexity, this drivetrain will outlive most of the people reading the window sticker. And the recall record backs it up. The 2022 and 2023 model years, the final 2 of that generation, had essentially spotless records, no recalls or federal investigations. In this class, that's almost unheard of. Now, the senior angle, because this is where the QX80 makes a shocking amount of sense for the right retiree. If you tow a boat, a camper, a horse trailer to see the grandkids' 4-H events, this truck is rated to pull 8,500 pounds with a big, lazy V8 that never breaks a sweat. If you road trip, the cabin is genuinely cavernous. The ride on the non-sport suspension is soft and floaty in the best old-school American way. Ironic for a Japanese truck, and the seats are wide and supportive for hours at a stretch. And if you value simplicity, the outdated interior is actually the selling point. Real buttons, real knobs, controls you learn once and never think about again. Who should skip it? Be honest with yourself here. This is a big vehicle, over 17 feet long. If your parking situation is tight, or your confidence in larger vehicles is fading, this is not your truck, and there's no shame in that. Fuel economy is also genuinely bad, 13 to 14 miles per gallon around town. If you drive 5,000 gentle retirement miles a year, that's maybe $400 extra annually versus a midsize, irrelevant against the $30,000 you saved on purchase price. If you drive 20,000, do the math first. Shopping checklist. First, by 2022 or 2023, those clean final years of the generation. Second, if the truck has the hydraulic body motion control system, have a shop check the lines and reservoirs for seepage. It's reliable, but it's the one system worth eyes on before purchase. Third, check the brakes. These are 5,900-pound trucks, and previous owners who towed heavy may have cooked the rotors. A full brake job is routine money, but make the seller pay for it, not you. Fourth, ideal seller profile. A two-owner truck from an older couple who bought it for towing a travel trailer they used 4 times a year. Those trucks are out there, they're garage kept, and they're basically new. All right, that's numbers 3 and 2. But number 1 is the vehicle that made me genuinely angry. Angry at the market, angry at badge snobbery, and angry that more retirees don't know this exists. Before I get into it, if this kind of straight talk is helping you, hit subscribe. I've got more videos coming on the vehicles dealerships push versus the ones that actually make sense. Number 1, Genesis GV80. Number 1 is the finest luxury SUV interior I have ever sat in for under $40,000, wrapped around Korean engineering, backed by warranty coverage no German brand would dare offer, and it's depreciating like the market thinks it's a Mitsubishi. The Genesis GV80. Let me set the scene with a story, because this one still gets to me. About a year ago, a retired couple came into my shop. He's 74, she's 70. They'd been saving for their last great car, his words, and had their hearts set on a used Mercedes GLE. Budget was $45,000. They'd worked their whole lives for this, and I could not, in good conscience, watch them buy a 5-year-old German SUV with an air suspension and a 48-volt electrical system on a fixed income. That's not a luxury purchase. That's a subscription service with leather seats. So I drove them, physically drove them, to look at a 2022 Genesis GV80 with the 3.5T, $39,000, 31,000 miles, one owner. The wife sat in the passenger seat, ran her hand across the quilted Napa leather and the knurled metal dials and said, "This is nicer than the Mercedes," because it is. Motor Trend, Car and Driver, every major outlet said the same thing when this truck launched. The GV80's cabin doesn't just compete with Germany, it embarrasses it in places. They bought it. 14 months later, 0 issues. 0. Total spend was 2 oil changes and a set of wiper blades. Now here are the numbers that make this the single best luxury SUV value in America right now. A new GV80 depreciates just over 50% in its first 5 years. After 3 years, it's already shed nearly 28% with a resale value around $41,800, and mid-spec earlier examples now trade in the mid to high 30s. That means the brutal early depreciation has already happened, paid for by the first owner, not you. You're stepping in right at the sweet spot of the curve, a nearly new top-tier luxury SUV at a mid-tier Honda Pilot price. Why is it this cheap? One reason is the badge. Americans still don't know what Genesis is. It's Hyundai's luxury division, the same playbook Toyota ran with Lexus in 1989. And everyone who dismissed Lexus in 1991 as just a fancy Toyota watched those cars become the gold standard. You're being handed the same opportunity 35 years later, and the market is asleep. Mechanically, here's my honest assessment as the guy who fixes these things. The 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 and the 2.5-liter Turbo 4 are both solid, conventional engines. Timing chains, traditional 8-speed torque converter automatic, no CVT, no dual clutch, no air suspension on most trims. Are turbos more complex than the QX80's naturally aspirated V8? Yes, which is exactly why the warranty situation matters so much, so listen closely, because this is the part most videos get wrong. Genesis's famous 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty applies to the original owner. As a used buyer, what transfers to you is the 5-year, 60,000-mile new vehicle limited warranty, bumper to bumper, for whatever time and miles remain. So, a 2023 GV80 with 30,000 miles bought today still carries roughly 2 years and 30,000 miles of comprehensive factory coverage on everything: engine, transmission, electronics, that gorgeous 14.5-inch screen, all of it. Show me a used BMW X5 or Mercedes GLE with that. You can't. And for a retiree on a fixed income, that coverage window is your risk-free trial period. Anything weak reveals itself under warranty on Genesis's dime. The senior-specific case for the GV80 is overwhelming. The ride is tuned for comfort, not lap times. Soft, quiet, composed. The cabin is one of the quietest in the class, which matters enormously if you wear hearing aids. Road noise is genuinely fatiguing. The seats are wide, supportive, heated, ventilated, and on higher trims, they'll massage you on the drive to your doctor's appointment. The step in height is that same golden slide-in, slide-out zone as the Nautilus. And the safety suite is stacked. Standard forward collision avoidance, blind spot collision avoidance that actively steers, a driver attention monitor, and highway driving assist that keeps you centered and spaced on long trips. For an older driver, these systems aren't gadgets, they're a co-pilot. Shopping checklist, and this one matters. First, favor 2022 and newer. The 2021 launch year had some infotainment and electronics teething issues that Genesis sorted quickly. The later cars are noticeably more buttoned down. Second, verify every scheduled service was done on time, ideally at a Genesis or Hyundai dealer. Turbo engines are unforgiving of skipped oil changes, and full records also keep your warranty claims bulletproof. Third, skip the third row unless you truly need it. Even Kelley Blue Book notes cargo room nearly vanishes with it, and the 2-row is the better vehicle. Fourth, my pro tip: look for one-owner cars sold new in affluent suburbs. GV80 first owners skew older and meticulous. A 2-year-old GV80 from a retired orthodontist is the closest thing to a new $75,000 SUV for half price that exists in this market. Bottom line, if I had to hand my own parents the keys to one luxury SUV in 2026, best interior, best warranty position, best safety tech, lowest financial risk, it's the GV80, and it isn't close. So there it is. 3 ultra-luxurious SUVs the market turned its back on, and 3 reasons that's the best news retirees have gotten in years. The Lincoln Nautilus, a first-class recliner selling for economy prices. The Infiniti QX80, one of the last great V8 luxury flagships at literally half the cost of its rivals. And the Genesis GV80, a world-class luxury SUV with factory coverage still on the clock, priced like the market hasn't done its homework. Because it hasn't. The dealership wants to put you in something new with a payment that follows you for 6 years. Now you know 3 ways to get more luxury, more comfort, and more peace of mind for a fraction of the money, and let somebody else's depreciation pay for it. If you want to see the luxury SUVs, you should never buy used. The ones that fund my shop's mortgage, I did a whole video on that, and it's right here. Like if this helped, subscribe for more. Truth, the dealerships won't tell you. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it'll take care of you. Take it or leave it. I'll see you in the next one.